Great. It's good to see everyone jumping on. Thank you. And so I'll start by just introducing myself and what I do and what I do for XRHealth. So my name is Jessica Ackerman, and I am a speech language pathologist. I have been practicing for 20 years clinically upon all levels of care. So from acute care to acute rehab to long-term rehab, home care, outpatient. So I've had a lot of clinical experience. I've worked very closely and intimately with patients with Parkinson's and patients with neurologic disorders. So I am LSVT trained. I have done LSVT loud since 2003, since I was in my master's program, actually. And I have seen very, very varied ranges of prognosis of patients, how they're presenting. I have seen, a lot of different levels of care and lots of progress with speech, with motor, physical therapy, occupational therapy, a lot of mindfulness, yoga, things that are outside of the box that people with Parkinson's work on. I am also, just to disclosure, I'm also a yoga teacher. I teach meditation. So I pull in and draw from a lot of different resources. And my main goal is to help people with Parkinson's and neurologic disorders and impairments to maximize their function and optimize quality of life. And so today I started working about a year ago with a company called XRHealth. And XRHealth uses virtual reality, which is the virtual reality headset. It's totally immersive. It brings you into a different world. So you can be in your living room, but hiking in Mount Everest. You can be in your dining room and swimming with dolphins. And it's fully immersive. It's not like watching a movie. It's not like playing a video game. It is really, truly being engrossed in these atmospheres. And in addition to being in a different environment, there are also gamified ways to use the virtual reality. So if anyone's done rock steady boxing, where you're boxing for Parkinson's, it's a specified and very specific treatment program. And we have things that mimic that. So you're punching with your remote controllers in your hand and targeting different colored balls and swiping balloons and things that make you feel like you're engaged in a video game. So I will get to show you some videos and things that people are engaged in the VR headset. It's only a pound, less than a pound. It sits right on your face. You can wear glasses with it. It's very, very user friendly. It's not highly technological. It just hooks right up to a Wi-Fi. So very, very basic. And in the virtual reality, you also work one-on-one with a therapist remotely. So all of this is done from home. You would have a designated therapist assigned to you, and you would get them to be working with you one-on-one from the comfort of your home. So with that, I'm going to launch into my webinar presentation all about virtual reality and Parkinson's specifically. So here we go. All right. So basically, virtual reality and Parkinson's disease. We're going to talk about therapy for movement, cognition, speech, sleep, and anxiety. So in addition to things like motor control, cognition, speech, swallowing, people with Parkinson's oftentimes have trouble sleeping, restless leg syndrome, stress, anxiety is hitting us all. So we are going to target all of those things in this integrated therapy. So a lot of people have been to the old therapy gym with the mats and the balls and the rubber bands. And so we are moving that into an immersive, engaging treatment from your home. And so Parkinson's and impact on your life. And so just for everyone to kind of think about, do you have difficulty with movement, balance, any falls or fear of falling? Is there trouble with coordination, reaction time? Is your voice soft? Do people ask you to repeat yourself? Were you forced to halt therapy because of COVID restrictions? Do you have anxiety, worry, stressful thoughts? Do you have difficulty sleeping? Are you in pain ever? And these are things that oftentimes are part of Parkinson's. And so enter XRHealth, as you just saw in the previous slide with the gentleman with the headset on his head and the controllers. You can do this from a seated position, from your wheelchair, reclined in a recliner, actually in bed, or standing. And this is therapy that comes right in that box that you see, comes directly to your door, and it is safe, it is convenient, and it comes right from the comfort right into your living room here. And so weekly sessions you have with a licensed, skilled therapist. And this is FDA approved. And so you receive this headset fully loaded with the applications and all shipped right to your door. We are covered by private insurance and Medicare, Medicaid, and Mass Health in Massachusetts and other states. Most of the insurances are covered. You just need a referral, like a script or an order from your doctor, and we are covering based on insurance authorization. So we take care of all that for you as well. And so here we go. So the therapy gym looked like this in the 19th century, and today it doesn't look a whole lot different. Therapists working with you, it's great to have exercise, but on the right you see therapy with XRHealth looks a lot different. And so using the immersive environmental therapy, we can allow data to be collected with everything we do. So every application collects data and puts it in a report graphically for you that you can access right on the internet, secure data portal right from your computer. And so I'm going to show you a short video here. So the application. So using virtual reality as a solution for symptoms related to Parkinson's, how does this treatment specifically help with Parkinson's? So I want to speak to that a little bit. And so specifically, we look at balance training. And so stabilizing yourself, either sitting or standing, and being able to use the controllers, use your arms movement, neck stability, neck range of motion, core stability, engaging your core, postural training. So coordination, a lot of times with Parkinson's, coordination is an issue. So this speaks right to that directly through the applications. There's reaction time training, and you'll be able to see your reaction time. So the remote controls actually measure when you're making a punch, the time when the ball lights up and when you start punching. So you're able to track your reaction time. So if it's 0.2 seconds, it will show you each punch, how long it takes you to respond. And you can see progress over time. So as you engage in the therapy more, you'll see that your reaction time gets faster. And so that's application towards driving, towards, just day-to-day life that you engage in. What is your reaction time? And again, you have access to all of these things through your data portal. You're able to see graphs that show your reaction time. Again, range of motion in your shoulder and neck. There's an application you saw just now called it's with the dragon, called Rotate. And you're just following the dragon with your eyes, moving your head very slowly and gently and following the dragon. It allows your neck and your head to move in such a way, and the therapist can actually determine your range of motion, how far you're going with your neck. Cognitive training. So anyone who complains of brain fog or memory problems, we speak directly to this through our applications. Voice and speech training. So again, I'm a speech therapist, and we are able to look at speech, voice, and how we can engage that as you're using the applications. Sleep, anxiety, and pain. Immersive environment. So again, being transferred to a beach where you're doing breathing exercises, being in a meditative jungle where you're just seeing and hearing the sounds around you, ambient noises. And so I'm going to show you another short video. This is a patient. He has given us permission to share his name and his video. This is actually just on YouTube. So Joe has completed his therapy with us, and he's going to talk to you now.
I have Parkinson's disease. And for people with Parkinson's disease, regular exercise is an absolute must. Before I was with XRHealth, I was missing out on the fact that I could have a PT that I could be in contact with during the pandemic. I came to XRHealth also because it sounded like it would be a lot of fun, and it has been a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot more skillful at the games that they come up with, and that has helped me to get stronger and better and more healthy. One of the things I found was that XRHealth has really good physical therapists that work with you to help create a personal plan that will help you to do the best you can do, be the best you can be, and stay as healthy as you possibly can. As a result of being with XRHealth, I can't say that I've regressed all my Parkinson's because that's not real. But I can say that some of the things that I couldn't do, such as playing my guitar, which I have loved to do for many, many years, I can now do in a limited fashion. And I attribute that to the special plan that Ricky put together for me to help me to get to that type of a goal.
All right, so we are getting consistent amazing results, feedback from patients about the improvement in their movement, in sleep, in stress, in pain. And so almost 100% of people are using this within a week or two, saying this is making a positive difference in my life, noticeable, people going off pain medications, people going off sleep medications. These are real people presenting these results to us after working with our therapists and the virtual reality. Some of these quotes from patients, if you want to see, just again, pain in my neck and shoulders are decreased. This device has been a miracle. And again, these are right from patients' mouths. So this is pretty amazing. You're saying, how do I start with XRHealth? And so here we go, XRHealth. First, we visit our website and get an order or a script. So we can help with that. Then secondly, we will set up a time for an initial meeting with your therapist, with your PT or OT. You will receive the completely loaded headset in the mail, delivered right to your door, and then you just begin your therapy. So using the applications that are FDA approved, feeling better literally within minutes of putting this on. And so we can start you today, literally. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything. I am trying to allow access to people for this type of therapy that's innovative. It's different. It's not going to the therapy gym necessarily, although you can still do that. But this is from your home, and it is as engaging, more engaging, allowing you to really fulfill your all your therapy needs for stress, for movement, balance, as we talked about. And so you can enroll today. Again, I'm going to open this for questions. You can type in questions that you have for me, but basically going right to our website, which is right on there, www.xr.health. If you put in the code PD webinar, Parkinson's disease webinar, PD webinar in caps, we will send you some a free gift with your first with your box, and that will be exciting. So basically, we want people with Parkinson's, we want maximum function, we want to optimize your quality of life. How do we do that? By improving movement and balance, getting you moving in an engaging way. Nobody really leaves the therapy gym with their piece of paper saying, oh, good, I'm going to do some calf raises and some, bicep curls with my arm. It's not that fun, to be honest. So can we be engaged in this game, in this video game of XRHealth, to really establish some continued progress as you go through your day, your week, your month? So reduce your risks of falls, increase coordination, cognition, sleep, reduce pain. And all wound up in this is that you don't have to drive to your appointments. You can do this from the safety and comfort of your home. And all you do is to see your therapist online, just like interacting with me online. You would see your therapist just like this, engaging one-on-one attention with the therapist. So please write down this number. If you have any questions or if you want to enroll, call this number, and it's also on our website. So 857-990-6111, and it's xr.health. And I'll leave this up for a bit. I will take any questions. Diana asked, are there any studies of virtual reality versus DRS regarding wires? Wires and magnetics. So if you have like a implanted device, you can use the virtual reality headset. There's no contraindication there. So wires and magnetics, there's nothing. It's just a plastic shell with the goggles that show a screen. So there's no problem with with any magnetics. So who has any other questions? You can type in. Robert asked, is each session completed with a therapist? And so each session we do two, usually 1 to 2 sessions per week for about 45 minutes to an hour. And those are online with a therapist. So you're working one-on-one directly with the therapist. They're engaging you. You're doing the virtual reality. You're also doing things like, you know, you can do transfers, you can do sit to stand out of the chair. This is not necessarily with the virtual reality. They're looking at your comprehensive physical therapy. They're doing all the necessary PT or OT with you, not just the VR headset. So you get a full therapy session twice a week with a therapist. Then you also have the virtual reality headset to use at any time of the day, all times of the day, whenever you want. So good. Thank you, Robert, for the question. Someone else asked, which patient populations are appropriate versus not for VR therapy? So we do a full screening with the first initial assessment online. So our therapist will work with you one-on-one and ask you a lot of questions about contraindications, which just means things that are not appropriate. But we do have patients, even patients who you might think have not appropriateness for the therapy, like, you know, if you have had seizures, a lot of times you might think that's not a good fit, but in fact, some of our patients who've had seizures do okay. So there's a lot of, you know, capacity to do therapy, even if you think it might not, like, oh, I have migraines, this might not be good, or I get dizzy. We start you sitting down, so you would be started in a sitting position, and you work it your way up to standing if appropriate, if not. So really we look at it as not that we rule anyone out. We don't say no, anyone is not appropriate for this therapy. Although there are, you know, there are some certain cervical neck issues. If you have like a broken neck, we're not going to have you moving your head around. But again, your therapist will assess you completely on the first visit. So they'll determine the appropriateness of the therapy. Thank you for that question. Okay, what type of research has been done on this? Lots of research. And Robert, I can send you a follow-up email with some research articles specific to Parkinson's. There are many, and many have been to improve balance, to improve coordination, and improve engagement in therapy. And they have all come resoundingly out that this virtual reality in general, this is third-party research, so peer-reviewed, not necessarily done by our company, but a third party doing research showing that virtual reality therapy is effective, as effective and more engaging than conventional therapy in a rehab gym. So again, thank you for that question. We have some more questions. Can the therapist adjust the settings real time for the patient? Yes, thank you for asking that. That is a great question. So the therapist has a protocol, which is a training program, and they are able to change the speed, the dynamics of the environment. They can change if they want you to be reaching across your body to swipe something, they can make all of the targets on the opposite side of your body. So the therapist does have control over shifting the speed, reaction time as you're progressing through the therapy. You will get a training program that's sent directly to you, and you're able to see your training program and how you progress, and the therapist does do that. Thank you for your question. Dennis, what is the cost? So like I said, insurance typically does cover this. In most cases, we take Medicare in many environments, and there for times when it is not covered, which does happen once in a while, the cost, we have a subscription per month, which is $179 per month, and that comes with some therapy sessions as well. Okay. All right. How do you work with patients that cannot grip the controllers during therapy? Could be difficult for stroke patients. Yes. So there are ways that we modify. Every therapist, again, works directly with the patient to work on gripping the controllers. We can have bands that can tie their hands to it. And caregivers are helpful here to help patients. And again, we can have like a Velcro that can attach your hand to the controller. That helps a lot. And again, you're working with an occupational therapist. The OTs are really good at modifying to get your hands gripped on the controller. I'm not sure if you heard about the cost. I think there was a little breakup, but the answer to the cost was that there is an out-of-pocket. If insurance does not cover it, there is a subscription plan that's monthly. And we're asking, are we borrowing the device? Yes. So you borrow the device, it comes to you, and you get a self-addressed or a return address stamp, and you just simply put it back in the box and ship it back. Technical support, there's a phone number that goes right to our technician. It's a live technician. It's not like you need to wait in line or they're out of the office. You're directly connected with the technician. There is also what we call CliniChat, which is a chat right in your mobile device. So you download very easy mobile device on your phone or your iPad, and then you can directly message back and forth with your clinician at any time if you're having issues. So you also have the option, once you're done with therapy, to continue on a subscription basis for $29 a month. So this is after you're completed your therapy course. You can keep the device for $29 a month, and then it's yours for as long as you'd like to continue with it. You can see more of the modules on our website, XR.health. And if you want to, I can send you also some links. There are YouTube videos. If you go to YouTube, it's surprising, everyone uses YouTube. Search XRHealth, and you'll find lots of modules up there as well. How do you determine PT versus OT? Good question, Dennis. Thank you for that. So it's based on the diagnosis or the presenting symptoms, what you're coming in with. So if you're coming in with more, shoulder or upper extremity strength, range of motion, need for that, you might get PT. Or if you want some more functional anxiety management, sleep management, functional day-to-day living things that an OT can provide, we would set you up with an OT. You can request a PT or OT. That's up to you. Your doctor can request in their script or order that we need. They can request PT or OT. If you're currently seeing a PT, then you are able to see an OT with us. If you're currently seeing an OT, you can see a PT with us. So you can actually see both at one time, as long as it's not the exact same therapy, if that makes sense. Great. Can the therapist see what the patient is seeing inside the headset? Yes, good question. Thank you. Absolutely. So the therapist has access to connect with the headset through a portal that the therapist has. They can only do that when you're live with the therapist. So it's not like they can zoom in at any time during the day and spy on you, but they can see it when you're in the session. Good questions. Let's see if there's any other questions. How many Parkinson's patients are using this currently? We have a lot of patients with Parkinson's. We have a lot of Parkinson's success, and it's wonderful. Yeah. Nancy is writing to all attendees saying she is a retired neuropsychologist. My husband has advanced PD and Parkinson's dementia. A year ago, he was knocking out 130 punches with his boxing coach in 45 seconds from his power chair. This is live. This is someone who's on this call who's saying this. Due to COVID, a needed surgery. Due to COVID needing surgery delayed, resulting in her husband being severely locked up. We have just started with XRHealth. At the end of the first session, his response was, "I absolutely love it." Thank you, Nancy, for sharing this. After the second session, wonderful. This is from a man who is essentially nonverbal. His next session is in 30 minutes, and we are all looking forward to this virtual reality training. Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing that. That is excellent. I'm very happy you shared that. She said, I would recommend seeing if this is appropriate for you. Super. All right. Thank you, Robert. We have Oculus with flight simulator program. Would I suggest using this only for a while rather than both at a time? So the Oculus is a totally different, it's the same virtual reality, but you would use what we send to you because it's FDA approved and all our applications are loaded on there. So we don't have anyone use their own device. We send you our device for all patients. So everyone gets their own device, even if you have one at home. So I would recommend signing up with us, getting our fully loaded device because it has training specificity for PT, OT, cognition, pain management that is FDA approved and research based. So I would go with what is research based right now. When you are not in session, are you using and you are using therapy, are you collecting data? Yes, you continue to, every time you log in and you use an application, you are getting data. So you have access to your data, you own that. And so you have graphs and charts that show you your progress within a session and over time. It shows a heat map of exactly where you're punching, where your arm is, where your neck is range of motion. It shows you how your range is moving with the avatar. So you're able to see all of those data for every single session that you're in this VR. So it's actually great. Any other questions? Type them in, folks. This is great. The back and forth between XRHealth system and Oculus, could that be a problem? Oh, no, I think you could use both. So, so you could, that's not a problem. You could use both your flight simulator and I'm gonna stop this sharing. Okay. Sorry about that. So Robert, to answer your question, you can use both the flight simulator and the XRHealth. Yeah. I'm just looking for some more questions. Do you get the data as well? Yes, the therapists do get the data as well. Yep, and we can send the data to your provider, to your doctor, if you want. We don't have to, but we can send the data to your doctor so they can see it as well. This can guide treatment. This can allow for medication management. Timing of medications can be, determined based on patients' performance within the VR. So it is very helpful for a lot of patients to see, this is when my arms get weaker towards the end of the day, and it's data driven. Thank you for your question. What's the power source of the whole VR device? How long does it last? So this is charging in a wall. It's like your iPhone charger, exactly like your iPhone charger. So it charges and it lasts a while. So it lasts like your iPhone would last. So you just kind of plug it in at the end of the day and it will definitely charge overnight for you. Same with the controllers. Yep. Would my spouse be able to use it? Could be helpful to me. Yes, so this could be for spouses, for family members. Pass it on to anyone who would like to do this therapy. They would get their own device though. So you would enroll for your spouse so that they would have their own data, their own device. So basically you would have two, which is fine. And again, we would go through your insurance, and so you would enroll separately. If your spouse has things like, anxiety, sleep problems, stress, tension, those are all applicable things that we would use for to work with a therapist. So any of those things, which we all have, right? We all have stress. So yes, your spouse would be a great way to use this, but they would get their own device, which is great because you don't want them hogging yours. I'm just seeing if I missed anyone. Does anyone else have a question? Robert, did I answer your question about the Oculus? I hope so. Basically, he wants to do a flight simulator and XRHealth, and I said, that is great, do it all. I think, I don't think that would be a problem at all. I don't think there's any interaction there. Any other questions from our attendees? And so if you go to our website, XR.health, and again, if you want to write down the code, it's PD webinar. So Parkinson's disease webinar, you can put that in as a promo code, or you can tell the enrollment specialist. So you can call, there's a number there, it says contact us. You can call right now and talk to Steve. He's our enrollment guy, and he's great. He'll be able to check your insurance. He can see if your insurance is on board, which most are. And then we can go from there to sign you up. We sign up within a day or two, you would get a therapist appointment. Does anyone else have questions? How long does the treatment last? Is it based on my insurance? So the treatment lasts based on the therapist and what they think you need. So it's like traditional therapy. You might have it for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, twice a week, and it's not necessarily based on your insurance. Usually it's based on, as long as the therapist is documenting progress towards goals, the therapist will write goals and things like that. And then that will be the duration of your therapy. You get a reevaluation every month. And so, or every 10 sessions. And so the therapist is able to see your progress, and they can extend your therapy as long as they think you're making progress. And again, once the therapy is done, you can elect to subscribe and keep the headset for ongoing practice. Thanks for your question. Another question, will I be able to participate if I can't use a laptop? Yes. So you can use a desktop computer. You can use just your phone. We just ask that you have some device that can have both a Zoom meeting for your therapy meeting and allow for your app. So just a quick download of an app, just like you download Facebook or any other app, and then you can chat with your therapist. It's all secure, all HIPAA compliant and secure. So any device that you would be able to do that, you can use, and a Wi-Fi connection. All right, any other questions? So I hope everyone's going over to the website now. So it's www.xr.health. And then we are able to talk to you online, or if you want to enroll yourself, you can do that, or touch base with our enrollment specialist. And Robert, I will send you some studies specific to Parkinson's. I know you had asked that. I can absolutely do that. Any other questions before we sign off? It's been wonderful to be with you all. I'm just going to share one more time for our website. And so you can go directly to www.xr.health. And then here is where you will land, and you can just click get started, or you can call this number right here. And then that's pretty much as easy as it gets. All right, well, it was great to be with you all again. I hope to talk to you soon, and take great care.